Welcome to Red Eye. I'm TV's Andy Levy, filling in for Greg Gutfeld, who's in timeout right now. He knows what he did. Let's go to Vice Magazine's managing editor, Michael Moynihan, for our pregame report. Michael, what's coming up on tonight's show?
Thank you, Andy. Our top story tonight, a college student is suing the DEA for $20 million for forgetting him in a jail cell for 5 days, forcing him to drink his own urine to survive. Proving my long-held theory that drinking urine can make you a very rich man. Sorry. It's true, though. It is. It's true. Plus, a New Jersey mother arrested for putting her 6-year-old in a tanning bed is denounced by fellow Jersey girl Snooki as crazy. The woman hit back, calling her critics fat and ugly. American agrees they're both right. And finally, an Al-Qaeda magazine publishes a shocking editorial calling for a firebombing campaign against the U.S., reversing its previous position of being super nice to Americans. Andy?
Thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank you.
You made it through.
I did.
All right. Let's welcome our guests. Well, she puts the cute in prosecute and the leg in legal. I'm here tonight with Kimberly Guilfoyle, former prosecutor and co-host of The Five, which airs weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on this Fox News channel. And she makes the end of the week a lot less bleak. It's Harris Faulkner. She anchors Fox Report Weekend, Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on the FNC. Bill Schultz, he thinks he's a contestant in the Hunger Games right now. And he's considered a comedy pioneer, but sadly George Carlin is no longer with us. So sitting right next to me is comedian Joe DeRosa. His comedy CD is called Return of the Son of the Depression Auction, an awful name. And nobody cheers when he appears. It's our New York Times correspondent. Good to see you again, Pinch.
Today in rapping news, A.O. Scott is less than hot on a movie called The Avengers, which cost a lot. P.S. kids, don't smoke pot. Oh, and R.I.P. Adam Yauch. Andy?
Awful.
You're awful. God. You don't use the Lord's name in vain, even though I don't believe in him.
I just said you're awful. What does that have to do with the Lord's name?
You said the G-O-D word as well.
Go away.
You go away.
Will he hit the jackpot after being left to rot? I speak of the California man forgotten in a DEA holding cell for days, who's now suing the government for $20 million. Last month, Daniel Chong was picked up as one of 9 suspects in a drug raid and brought by agents to a 5x10 windowless room without food, water, or toilet, or as Bill Schultz calls it, home. The UC San Diego student says he was left there for 5 days, forced to drink his own urine to survive. Jealous, Joe? He hallucinated, and his only sustenance was a packet of white powder he found, which turned out to be meth. Jealous, Bill? On the 4th day, with his hands still cuffed behind his back, he broke his eyeglasses with his teeth and contemplated killing himself. He tried to carve a message in his arm, which he later explained.
This is an S in pitch black, trying to write sorry mom, but I couldn't even aim, so I gave up on that one.
An attorney for Chong says his client was subjected to torture and has filed a claim against the government for $20 million. Anyway, speaking of hardships, I was once trapped in an elevator for 10 minutes and had hallucinations. I believe we have tape. Turned out I'd just forgotten to press a floor.
No.
Yeah. I ended up hanging out for a couple hours, though. It was fun. Hey, Kimberly, you're an attorney. Does Chong have a case? Is he going to get $20 million out of the government here?
I think he is,
really?
Actually. Yeah, and he should. I mean, I don't know what $20 million, but he should get some kind of recovery because it's a pretty egregious situation. I've seen a lot of cases that people have filed against the government. This may be one of the best ones.
It's pretty
They
big,
better
right?
settle fast and furious.
Well played. Harris, how could the DEA have forgotten about him for 5 days? And what about, like, his buddies and his family? Did they just forget about him too?
Seriously, he says he lost 15 pounds in 4.5 days. Lock me the hell up. You know what I'm saying? You lose that kind of weight.
You'd be invisible.
Ginny Craig is looking for this guy. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
15. Well, and you know, the other thing too that kind of struck me about the story is that he says he carved into his arm, "I'm sorry, Mom," and then he was crawling around the floor. The lights went out, and it was completely dark. I'm thinking that's when the urine started.
That's
It's completely dark in there. The guy was like scared to death, but if you can urinate, you're not dehydrated.
That's not true.
No?
No.
You can?
Yes.
Okay. You've tried?
Look at him. Of course he has.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to prove this now, are you?
I already have. I just haven't shown you yet.
Don't sit too close.
No, that's doctors will tell you if your urine is a dark brownish color, it means you're dehydrated.
Yeah.
And you can absolutely urinate if you're dehydrated.
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
but not a lot.
Yeah, let's move away from that. Joe, let me ask you
And
this.
why drink it?
The DEA, they've apologized.
Tang.
Shouldn't that be enough?
No, Andy.
Really? No harm, no foul. The kid's fine.
It made me laugh when I read the statement of their apology, because it was, they were clearly feuding sides. I mean, the DEA scooped him up because they thought he was a drug dealer.
Right.
And then they screwed up so bad that they hit that point that you hit like in a really vicious argument where you have to go, dude, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, man. Do you want to ride home? I'm sorry.
Why couldn't they should have just handed him a check when they opened the door?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well,
get out of jail free and 20 mil.
And that's the thing, Joe. He said that originally they basically told him, we're going to let you go, and they said, we'll give you a ride. And that was the last he heard from them for 5 days.
Do you believe them?
Yeah, that's unreal.
That's awful.
Bill, would anyone, or would you go through that nightmare for 20 million bucks, or would 20 be enough?
I would do it for the free meth he found on the floor.
Yeah.
That I thought was enough right there. And I think also they're talking about, all of this had to do with the psychological things that were going on in his mind for being stuck there 5 days. Now, it's a meth.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's rough being in that position. But the meth
Don't
was the
take
stuff
meth.
that did all of
By the way,
that.
probably no worse drug to take and then be locked alone in a room with nothing to do.
There is no toaster to disassemble.
how
There
would
is
you know?
nothing to do.
I'm just guessing based on I watch Breaking Bad, Joe. So that's why I'm guessing.
Right.
Hey, Kimberly, isn't
Yes.
this is just more proof that drugs should be legal, right?
No, actually, it's
Really?
not. No. I mean, now I bet you he's thinking twice about even hanging out with the people that are involved in the ecstasy ring or whatever kind of.
Oh, so you're saying he deserved this?
No, I don't think he deserved it, obviously, and they were dropping charges right away from him, so apparently he was innocent, and
Right.
he just got, roped in this, sweep. But nevertheless, doesn't it make you think twice about doing drugs or being involved in any kind of activity like that, unless you're into drinking your own urine,
It makes
Bill?
me wonder how
Well,
he's
I
going to
think
get the
this
sorry
guy-
mom off his arm.
Yeah, and also I think this guy is a living
Mommy issues.
embodiment of how successful the war on drugs
Exactly.
has been. This guy shouldn't sue him for 20 million. He should sue them for the trillions of dollars we've wasted until this stupid war started 40 years ago.
And
I maintain they only arrested him because his last name was John. I bet you there's a Rick Cheech in some cell right next to him that is not there for any reason
Right.
aside from the fact that, must be.
I agree with you.
Guilty by association.
I agree with you that this is more proof that the war on drugs is a pointless and futile. Look, if for nothing else, you captured 18,000 ecstasy pills. Who cares? What damage would 18,000 ecstasy pills really do?
It would kill 18,000 unsuspecting teenagers, Joe.
And it would sell 18,000 crappy dance records.
That's true, it would. And a lot of glow sticks. The glow stick industry was really hurting for a little while there.
Yeah.
You guys.
Harris, some people do have, someone's got to lose their job over this, right? They can't just give him money. Like, somebody screwed up.
We've
big
got a lot
time
of
here.
scandals going on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure
Good
that
time
this
for
is
it to
the most
happen, yeah.
egregious one. I don't know that anybody will lose their jobs. I'm
But
not
okay,
sure about that.
but there's two things here. First of all, they left him in the room and they forgot about him for 5 days. But also the meth. Why was there meth in that room? Like, what? This is like the Keystone agents.
Because somebody dumped it.
The TSA is giving us cavity
it's their- it's a-
searches,
it's
and they're
their
not even
cell.
checking pockets in a police station
Yeah.
involving narcotics.
Right.
There's something very wrong right
Well,
there.
during the investigation, they said that they took them from room to room to room to room to room. And that's how he got sort of lost in the whole thing. That
Right.
They had so many rooms. And where are they doing this? Like Lost? Like the set of Lost? Where you could just
Love that show.
I mean, no windows, 5x10 cell. It's bizarre
Well,
to me.
it raises an interesting point. I don't understand how there could be any space inside a facility like this that just goes uninspected or looked at for
Right.
5 days straight.
Yeah.
It does sound torturous to me. It doesn't make any sense.
But Joe, is the lesson here, if you smoke pot even once, you'll end up locked in a windowless cell, forced to survive on your own urine?
I have never smoked pot, and I've ended up in that situation several times.
But by choice. Yeah,
well,
that doesn't count.
on my own gateway,
Yeah.
as I like to say.
Hey, Kimberly, last question.
That's funny.
Along with whatever cash settlement this guy gets,
Yes.
shouldn't he get like a lifetime get out of jail free card? Like he could commit murder and they're like, you know what, we're not
He's
gonna
his
lock you up.
own get out of jail free card because
Yeah.
this was such a horrible experience, chewing glass, carving mommy issues, gonna have to have counseling, big situation. Dad's like, what about me? Hook me up, what's up? Did I spank you too much? So yeah, this guy is never going to do anything. He's not gonna exceed the speed limit, okay? This guy's not gonna go 35 and a 30.
Yeah.
No way.
Probably never gonna want to be in an elevator
Traumatized.
again either.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I would also add that you can't like Lost and be anti-drugs. I mean, that just didn't make any sense to me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I would
You mean as a viewer? Or
I would just pose the argument.
Oh,
You
both.
can't like Lost. That's where.
Why not? I thought it was really good, but you
It
have
was
frontal lobe issues.
fantastic. Don't pay attention to Joe. All right, we're moving on.